So good afternoon. I just want to confirm the speaker that is your mic and video available, sir?
Soheb, apparently there is some issue with his microphone and
Okay.
he's getting it sorted out and
Sure.
probably need a couple of minutes more to.
Of course. Give him some time, sir.
Shohab, you can see him as Campus Angels Network. That is his ID. So you can see whether he's there online through
It was
Campus Angels Network.
okay. He was there a while, but it got
Yeah,
disconnected. I guess.
he said there was some issue with his microphone and he was just getting it sorted out.
Sure, we'll just see for another couple of minutes, sir.
Yes, sir. I just spoke to him. He's trying to join from another laptop. So probably he'll join us in 2 minutes.
Hi, how are you doing?
Yeah, fine. Thank you. How are you?
Good afternoon.
Yeah, how are you? How are you all?
Yes,
Yeah,
we can hear you well.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah. Hello, Mr. Chandran.
And you can hear me all?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you well.
Yeah,
Can
thank
you hear
you.
me, Rajbabu?
Yeah, we can hear you, sir. There's a little bit of echo.
I can't hear you.
Can you hear us, sir?
Yeah,
Yes, I
Chandran,
can.
sir?
how you doing?
Fine, thank you.
Yeah.
You are all not able to hear me?
We can hear you, sir.
hear you.
Yeah.
They are not able to hear me here. They can hear me now?
We
They can't hear us. They can't hear me?
They are able to hear you. அவங்க பேசுறது தான் நமக்கு கேட்கும்.
அப்படியா? They are not able to hear me.
We can hear you.
Can you hear us, sir? We can hear you, sir.
But we are not able to hear you. That's the problem. Can we
Okay.
one minute before? Can you talk?
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, I can hear you now. Okay.
You can hear us, sir?
Yeah, I can hear.
Okay.
Okay.
I guess there was some technical issue,
Yeah,
and I hope like you can hear us clearly, sir.
I can hear you well.
Nice. That's so nice.
We are trying to rectify my laptop. Meanwhile, I can start talking here. So
Of course, sir.
we can proceed.
Yeah, sure, sir. Sure, sir. Thanks for joining. I think it's time. Although, let's get started. A very good afternoon to one all present here. My name is Mohammed Shoaib Khan, and it's an absolute pleasure to welcome you all for today's special webinar. So, as we all know, we have gathered here for a thought-provoking discussion on how startups can transform the leather and leather-allied products industries through innovation and disruption. So, such a fantastic topic in an area where innovation drives the progress of the nation. So, I would also like to emphasize that this webinar marks the very first episode of the ALFA Talk series, a flagship initiative by ALFA aimed at bringing together innovators, professionals, entrepreneurs, and academicians across various industries into our ecosystem. Through this platform, we aim to embrace forward thinking ideas, industry trends, and emerging opportunities that will shape the future of the leather and allied sectors. So, we are excited to kick off this journey today with a truly impactful session. Let us see how many of you are really excited. Can I just have a excited in the chat box? Can you type excited in the chat box so that we can have a boost for the start? Can I see some excited comments in the chat box, please? Excited, Muhammad Risham, nice. Can I have some more engagement with the participants? I think just because we are out for a file, like nice, excellent initiative, hi, nice, looking forward, nice, excited, looking forward to this discussion. Nice, nice, nice. Audience are really engaging. That's really impressive. Nice, nice, nice. Okay. So we kindly request all the participants to remain muted during the webinar to avoid any disturbances. And you're welcome to keep your video on unless you're facing any connectivity issues. Just to keep you informed that this platform can accommodate up to 100 participants, and any of your friends or colleagues who are unable to join here, they can watch the session live on YouTube. The streaming link has been shared to you via email by the Alpha team. So thank you. To begin with this, I would like to invite Mr. Raja Babu, President of Alpha, to deliver the welcome address. Sir, please.
Good afternoon, one and all. I'm happy to be, talking in front of all of you with distinguished people like Dr. Ramaswamy and my boss, Mr. Habib Hussain, and Mr. Prasanna, to name a few, my seniors, classmates, and juniors, and guests who are on the line today. Indian leather and footwear industry has set an ambitious target of $47.1 billion by 2030. Out of this, the domestic target is 33.4 billion and the export target is 13.7 billions. And some of the key initiatives driving this growth include strengthening footwear production, sustainability and innovation, skill development and workforce expansion, and to achieve all this, by more automation. The Alpha webinar series aims at bringing together industry experts, thought leaders, and innovators to share the knowledge and experiences in the leather and footwear sector. The webinars will cover topics such as sustainability, innovation, and industry trends, providing a platform for discussion, collaboration, and growth. Through these sessions, participants will gain valuable insights into the latest developments and best practices in the industry, enabling them to stay ahead of the curve and drive innovation in their organizations. The Alpha webinar series is an excellent opportunity for professionals, researchers, and students to network, learn, and contribute to the growth of the leather and footwear industry. Thank you very much, and I hand this over back to Shoaib.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for a warm welcome. Now, moving ahead, it gives me an immense pleasure to introduce our esteemed speaker for the day, Mr. Chandran Krishnan. Mr. Chandran Krishnan is the Managing Director and CEO of Campus Angels Network, an organization focused on funding and nurturing deep tech startups emerging from campus based incubators. He also serves as the principal advisor at SSN Incubation Foundation and is a director on board of IIM Calcutta Innovation Park and SAS MOS HET Technologies. A mechanical engineering graduate from IIT Madras and a management postgraduate from IIM Calcutta, Mr. Krishnan brings nearly 4 decades of rich and diverse experience across automotive, industrial, aerospace and defense, financial services, and IT enabled services sectors. He has worked with major organizations like HCL Technologies, CK Birla Group, Ashok Leyland Finance, Reliance Life Insurance, and many others. His deep involvement in the startup ecosystem includes past leadership at the Chennai Angels and an active participation in numerous incubations and investment panels across India. We are truly honored to have him join for us for the first episode of Alpha Talks. Let us type welcome in the chat box and welcome Mr. Chandran for the talk today.
Thank you. Thanks a lot for the introduction and thank you for the opportunity. Happy to see many of you come for this talk by me. What I will do is initially I say a few more. I want to give a little more background about me so that what I speak later will make can you be able to connect. So I went to IIT, then went to IIM, long corporate career, had opportunities to work in multiple sectors, and was fortunate also to get exposure to global markets where I had headed operations in UK, Europe, US, Australia, South America, and I had a lot of opportunities to do M&A. I have acquired at least 8 companies across multiple sectors, which I acquired and ran a great corporate career. And then 6 years back, I came into the startup ecosystem. Corporate world, how it is, and I had opportunities to build from scratch 2 large businesses, one for HCL in the financial services vertical, which I grew from almost 5 crore to 400 crore over a 3.5 year period. And similarly, at LG Equipment Coimbatore, where I headed America and Europe for them, I grew it from about 25 crore to 350 crore, 25, 30 crore to 350 crore. And it was, some of it was due to M&A also, so organic and inorganic. So growing organization, we are building a new business in a corporate sector is somewhat easy. It is difficult, always difficult. Easy because you have resources, you have organization, you have team, you have brand, you have money. When I came to the startup world 6 years back, I started dealing with entrepreneurs who have nothing. Okay, they just come with their idea and then they start building from the idea stage. So this is what I experienced. So I became the CEO of Chennai Angels, where over a 3 year period, I was involved in about 50 investments. We invested in about 50 companies from multiple verticals, and they were sector agnostic. So we were looking at different verticals. That I also was involved in personally. I also invested in about 20-23 startups. So that was a great experience. Then I briefly had an opportunity to head the incubation foundation of the Shivnadar Group at SSN Engineering College, where I learned how to build startups. The angel network where I worked, there we were investing in startups, but in the incubation foundation, I learned how to build organizations from scratch. We incubate at the early stage. I'm sorry, there's a lot of sound here. Are you hearing a lot of sound there? They are doing some checking here, and I don't know whether it is coming there.
Yeah, we are hearing the sound.
I don't know how to stop it. I will write in research park. Hopefully, they will stop it. So I went there. Then I also became the board director at IIM Calcutta Innovation Park. And soon enough, about 15-20 incubators, I became the head of the investment panels, looking at the government grants and schemes. So, year and a half back, I started Campus Angels Network. So, let me talk to you about a few data points and I'll try to stitch together various things. I got a presentation also, but I thought after this initial 15-20 minute talk, then we will go to the presentation.
Sir, just a small request, like we are hearing your voice little feeble. Can you speak little louder, or can you make the mic little closer to you so that everybody can hear?
You are not able to hear me?
We can hear you, but it is very feeble.
Okay, so let me check.
Can you increase the mic volume or something so that because
This is better? No?
you can come closer to the mic, or if you can keep the mic closer to you, that will be better.
Yeah. I don't know today what happened. This one is continuously shouting in the background. Minute. Can you hear me?
Yeah, that's better, sir.
Better?
Yeah, better.
Okay.
Please continue, sir.
Yeah. So, let me start with the one example which I talk everywhere. Some of you may be able to relate. In late 80s, 80s, early 90s, when you had to travel, you had to go to the railway station in the morning. We used to go and stand in the queue at 7 o'clock when the counter opens at 8 o'clock, and then you had to stand in long queues, and then if you had to cancel again, you had to go back. Similarly, if you had to travel by bus, or you had to go by air, you had to go to the airport or the bus station to go and buy tickets. And when you had to travel out station, we had to, we used to do the trunk call, and then we used to put money order, and we used to look at the BSN directory for hotels outside. So travel used to be like that. It was quite challenging, and not only for individuals like us, but also for business. And Make My Trip came. They used technologies. They used telecom. They used internet. They used payment gateway, and they created a solution where travel became so simple, so easy. In matter of minutes, you can book from anywhere to any place, and they do bulk booking, so you get discounts, and they made the experience so pleasant and nice. And the market is so large that after them, you have this TripAdvisor, you have the Clear Trip, you have the Yatra. They also became big. So startups are doing that. Startups are trying to find problems like this, and using technologies, they are building solutions which create a lot of wow for the customer, and also give good returns to the customer. So that's what everybody is trying to do. So startups are coming in multiple verticals. I'm sorry, this guy is really.
They're checking the mic, it seems.
I know that. I think security, they are trying to do something here.
Fire drill, they're competitive.
Fire. Is that phone ready? That system is not ready yet?
Which one?
That other system? My system? Okay. Let me continue. Okay, so that's what startups are trying to do. They are coming in different verticals, be it education, entertainment, fintech, healthcare, agri, and even leather. There are a lot of examples of leather I'm going to talk to you later. So startups are doing that. I want to give you a definition. Startup actually is by definition, a startup is I'm really sorry.
We can understand. So, is your laptop ready, sir? Is like you were connected in the previous one? Can you check whether if it is ready?
I'm trying to repair it.
Okay.
Let us move on. So I will give a definition of startup. Startup is actually a early stage venture which is trying to find a sustainable business model. The moment you find a sustainable business profitable model, you are no longer a startup, you are an enterprise. Okay, and every startup becomes a MSME, then SME, and then keeps going up. Okay, depending upon how they are able to find a viable business model. So that is the definition of startups. So now many years back, when anybody wanted to start a business, they used to start out of their homes or garages. But today things have all changed. You have incubators now. So for what has happened over the last 10, 15 years is all universities are becoming the hub for entrepreneurship, innovation and incubation. Governments are encouraging students to become employees and be employees. And there are so many opportunities. So governments are encouraging, not only in India, globally also. So every university is becoming a hub for entrepreneurship. I remember when I did my MBA, I mean, even today, when anybody does MBA, after they finish, they go and join, as a HR executive or a sales executive or a finance executive and so on. And over a period of 5 years, then you may get some multiple opportunities. And then after 10, 15 years, maybe you will become a general manager. But entrepreneurship is, today entrepreneurship is being taught at every university where you are taught how to identify a problem, how to build a solution, how to build a product, how to create a team, how to raise money, how to establish product facility, how to go and market, and how to build a business. So that's what is entrepreneurship. So today, this is now completely, every university is now trying to roll it out. Not only that, every university is being encouraged to do innovation. They set up labs where students can come, they can build something. And every university has got some kind of a scheme where they announce projects to students where students can actually talk about what they want to do, and then they get some award, some 10, 20. I know, for instance, in Assistant Engineering College, I'm sure I don't know what in CLRI it is. So about 200 students are given projects. They are given 25,000 rupees funding for each student. They get 25,000 rupees for them to build something. So students are getting encouraged to build products using tools, and so that encouragement is there in every university. IIT Madras, where I sit here now, they also have this lot of these projects which happen here. So innovation is the second thing which is picking up. And in IIT Madras, for instance, there are 30 labs, 30 build clubs for different. AI has got a club, robotics will have a club, you have blockchain another club, so you have different clubs. So innovation is the second thing which is picking up. Third is incubation, where students or faculty with good ideas, they can go and then start a venture. So every university is now encouraged to put an incubator. So all over India now, there are about 1,100 incubators, and incubators are helping not only students, faculty, they are also helping the local entrepreneurs to come and set up a venture. Parallelly, what is happening is government is actually encouraging funding for incubators. So there is a Department of Science and Technology, then you have Department of Biotechnology, Ministry of Electronics, then you have Startup India. We have different schemes today for startups to avail these funds while they are working in an incubator. So incubators have no access to funds from the government. So what's happening is, in incubator, startups are getting space, they are getting labs, access to fabrication centers, access to technical mentors, funds, and business mentors, and they are helping these entrepreneurs to build ventures. Now, one more definition I have to give you here. There are 6 stages to entrepreneurship. Every entrepreneur goes through 6 stages. First stage is germination stage. When there is an idea, there is a problem he wants to solve, he or she wants to solve. Second stage is idea validation stage. What is idea validation stage? See, any idea should have enough power, enough gaps, enough problems, enough challenges. I'll give an example. Apple phone, when it was launched, it could do only 5 things. You could browse, you could message, you could email, you could call, and maybe you could see some events. But today, Apple version 16, you can do 500 things or 1,000 things. So version after version, they kept on adding things. So any idea should have enough gaps for you to do multiple versions of the product. So unless the idea is strong, we should not go to the next stage. So for idea validation means you have to go and talk to at least about 100 people, find out how they are doing the activity today, what are the gaps, what are the pains, and if there are at least some 20, 30 gaps, then only you should take up the idea. I know many startups come to me where they say that, I'm building something that is 30% cheaper than what, is imported today. I mean, just on one feature or one, couple of features, you can't go and build a business. You should have enough gaps. So second stage is idea validation. Third stage, once you have identified a problem, you got a great idea, which has got, you have validated the idea. Now, next stage is product validation. Product validation is building the first version of the product, solving only 4 or 5 things, not all the 20, take only the top 4 or 5, use technologies, build something which you can patent, make it unique, different from what is available in the market, and you should be able to go and sell it. Customer should be willing to pay for it. Only then you got a product validation. So product validation is the third stage in entrepreneurship. Fourth stage is market validation, where you need to identify what channel to use. See, you can reach customer either through an app or direct sales, distribution channel, or you can go through marketplace or e-commerce or advertisement, referrals. There are different ways you can go. So you need to discover that channel which is optimal for that particular product. Because if you are selling a product for 100, you should not be spending more than 10 rupees on marketing. So you need to find the right channel. Then you need to find the right engagement model where customers are sticky, they come back to you. And the third is pricing. You need to arrive at a price point which gives enough margin for the startup and also for the customer. There is a good ROI. So this is called market validation. That is the fourth stage. Fifth stage is early growth. Sixth stage is scaling. These are the 6 stages. So every startup will start with the germination, go to idea, and then product validation. So when it comes to funding, every venture needs money, right? Without money, you can't build anything. At germination stage, nobody is going to support, right? Nobody is going to give money. Idea validation, again, it is only a question of going and doing research. So there also, investors will not put money. The third stage, product validation, where we need some money because you have to build a product, you have to validate, you have to go and meet customer, you have to iterate. So there also investors won't put money. Government is giving support. So government is giving money to the incubator to support startups as grants or seed funds. So that is available today. So at product validation, incubators can support startups with grants and seed funds. And then the fourth stage, market validation, where now you have a product, customers are willing to pay for it, then some funding is available. From government stops giving funding. There are some accelerators who I'll define who is the accelerator. So and then there are some networks, Campus Angels network, which I have promoted along with 2 other co-founders. We supported market validation phase. Then early growth, we have a lot of angel networks. Then when you go to scaling stage, there are a lot of venture funds. So I talked about the journey of a startup. 6 phases I talked about it. I also talked about when funding comes, who does the funding. I defined what is a startup, right? And I also told you incubators are becoming the hub for building startups. So in the process which I explained, idea validation is, we call it pre-incubation. That is the terminology which is used. Product validation, it is called incubation. And market validation is called acceleration. So this is the terminology in the industry. So have incubators who support the startup right up to early growth. Accelerator comes in only at market validation. They come at market validation and then go to growth. There are some, when it comes to incubation, there are a lot of good incubators in India today. Out of 1,100 incubators which I mentioned to you, about 50 to 100 are really doing well. IIT Madras Research Park, where I work here, we have 5 to 6 incubators here. IIT Madras Incubation Cell, Will Grow, Forge, Rural Transportation Business Incubator. Then we have healthcare incubator, IITM Pravartak. So we have got about 5 incubators here. Then you have IIT Bombay Shine, which is very popular. IIT Delhi has got a good incubator. IIT Hyderabad has got some 3 good incubators. And then you also have Anna University, SRM, SSN, PSG, Shastra. And so you have, you have good, solid 50, 100 incubators in India today. And most of the other incubators are not really active. They put a faculty there, and faculty they have their own academic workload. So many of the incubators are actually dormant in India today. So that is the innovation incubation ecosystem in India today, where now over the last 10 years, a lot of maturity has happened. Every university is putting up an incubator. They are encouraging entrepreneurship. They are encouraging innovation. And the fourth thing which is happening now is industry participation. Industry is now active. Industry wants to come and solve its problem using the incubator and the academia. So academia can give the research support, and incubation can give the support for seeding the startup idea and building the product and getting the market validation done. So there is a lot of active involvement today by industry who are working with incubators today. For example, in IIT Madras itself, there are 1,100 companies who work here, who come here for support, some for academia, some for incubation. So we see a lot of action here, sitting here, but pieces of this are happening all over. So this is something we wanted to say. Then, okay. So today, US is the largest startup ecosystem. They started about 30, 40 years back. Silicon Valley is supposed to be the capital, global capital of the global startup capital. And we came in later, much later. After 2014, we have seen a lot of traction in India. India is the third largest startup ecosystem in the world, after US and China. And there are 6-7 locations where the startups are coming out of. Bangalore is the startup capital of India. Out of about 1 lakh startups which have come so far, 1/4 of it would have come from Bangalore. Then you have NCR. NCR is also pretty active. 18-20,000 would have come from there. Then Mumbai region, where also about 15,000 plus startups have come. And then you have Chennai, Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu is now picking up. In the last 2-3 years, there is a lot of action now. About 8,000, 10,000 startups have come from Tamil Nadu also now. And then you have Rajasthan, Gujarat, Hyderabad, T-Hub. There's a T-Hub in Hyderabad. Then there's a Kerala Startup Mission. So there are about 9-10 locations where the whole incubation, the innovation is all very quite a lot of action we are seeing now. Okay, now moving on. I think I'll now go to the presentation. I'll share my presentation. I think a lot of things I've already given introduction to you, and we'll talk about the leather industry in specific. Let me share the screen. Can you turn it on, Shoaib?
Yes, I will share your screen.
Okay, I can.
Sir, you can share your screen now.
Yeah. Yeah. This is okay? Sir, we can see?
Yes, sir, we can, sir. Please proceed.
Okay. Let me move on. Okay. Yeah, there are about 1,40,000 startups. DPIIT is a registration body. Startups are all required to register DPIIT. If they register, then there are a lot of benefits available. It has to be a private limited company, and then over a 10-year period, they give a 3-year tax holiday. Then they exempt startups from angel tax. I'll explain to you what it is later. And India ranks third globally, which I mentioned to you. We have 110 unicorns. Unicorn is actually any company having a valuation of $1 billion plus. It is called a unicorn. So in India, about 110 unicorns have come. The total valuation is about $350 billion. Total of $160 billion has been provided as funding since 2014 to startups across 8,500 deals. And many of the startups are coming from these different sectors: deep tech, health tech, fintech, agri-tech. I mean, I gave some names here. There are many more verticals. And we are seeing a lot of activity happening in tier 2, tier 3 cities also, like Mysore, Pune, Coimbatore, Vijayawada. And I talked about the southern location, but it's happening everywhere. There a lot of action is happening also in rural places today. And we have generated about 12.4 lakh direct jobs. That is the data available. We have moved from some 76th position to 39th position in Global Innovation Index. And MSMEs are now having access to digital and automation tools. And there is inclusive growth, rural and also women-based startups. They are coming up regionally across not only metros or tier 2, tier 3 cities. About 10,000 patents have been filed by the startups, and this entire startup ecosystem has given rise to public, digital infrastructure being strengthened. I explained to you what is pre-incubation. It is the idea validation phase. Incubation is where you build a first version of the product. The MVP means minimum viable proposition. So the first that 4-5 problems that you want to solve. So that is done in incubation, and then acceleration is where you look at how to reach, how to market fit, I told you, and then after that early stage growth where angels come. And then CSR money is also available. I'll come to that later. And when they grow to the next stage, when they are ready for scaling, then we have the Series A, B funding, this venture capital funding. Then typically when entrepreneur builds a startup, they ultimately either they want to take it to IPO stage or they want to exit. So when they want to exit, then it either a strategic player has to buy the company, or a private equity player has to take the stake, or it goes to IPO. So these are the stages, let's say the stages of a startup. And I talked about universities. They are encouraging entrepreneurship. Curriculum has been introduced now, and faculty is also encouraged. By the way, faculty, once upon a time, I know they used to do consulting. Then slowly they started, writing research papers. Then they were encouraged to go for patents, and faculty is also being encouraged to set up their own startups. So this incubator, which is set up in the universities, are not only meant for students, they are also meant for faculty and also for the local entrepreneurs. But statistically, not more than 5% of the students get into incubation. They prefer to go for a job. Even today, placement is a very important thing. But slowly things are changing. IIT Madras is one place where 25% of the students go directly for entrepreneurship, and it's happening in many places. It is happening, and I think over a period of time, these percentages will keep going up. So incubators provide access to labs, prototyping facilities, and universities are encouraging interdisciplinary collaboration. So you can combine maybe a biotech with a biomedical, or you can do with a industry 4.0 solution, robotics. So the multi disciplines can be brought together. When you are doing innovation, and universities are helping faculty, students, and startups to do tech transfer, to do licensing of the patents, and also helping to partner with industry, and helping alumni to also take a active role. Many universities alumni are active. IIT Bombay, IIT Madras, SRM. Some of the places I know, the alumni is very active in supporting the university. Okay, I presume your CLRA also has that support available. Incubation chamber, we spoke pre-incubation. Some of these are repetitive, but I think it will help you to understand more quickly. So pre-incubation, typically pre-incubation programs are where ideas are to be validated. So workshops are covered, boot camps, mentoring is all done. In incubation, space is given, and legal support is given for regulatory, approvals, and also of course labs and fabs, and advisory for raising grants, where to apply for grants, where to apply for seed funds. So the incubation gives that kind of support. Market validation, I spoke about, early customer engagement, how to accelerate, then the acceleration phase. Funding access, demo days. Demo day is a nomenclature we normally use, where startups pitch to investors their idea, and the investors will decide whether they want to invest. And yeah, these are some of the terminology. Graduation to acceleration program. So once you have reached the early stage, then you are graduated. Typically, you are graduated. Or many incubators, they stop with product incubation and they expect the startup to go for acceleration outside. In incubators, the impact they are creating, they are supporting an MVP, they are giving subsidized infrastructure, okay, offering government grants. Okay, I think it's very repetitive, but I think we may be generally following the idea. Incubators also, what they do is they co-incubate. They give co-incubation support. For example, when I was in SSN, I was partnered with IT Madras, I was partnered with Ramchandra Medical College, I was partnered with Sain Mumbai. So wherever you do not have enough strength internally to provide support, then you can reach out to these other incubators who can support you. Okay, and here I want to just tell you, incubators, universities are normally hand to mouth, and universities do not have money to invest in incubator. So government today is, I told you, is supporting their schemes to support incubators. So Department of Science and Technology, they have supported 180 incubators, and these incubators are called TBI, Technology Business Incubator, where they have given 10 crore each. And for the initial period, incubators will use this money to set up, the physical facility, etc. And then they have to become viable. Okay, so they have to find a revenue model. Similarly, you have Department of Technology. They have supported 85 incubators. They are called BioNest incubators, and 85 of them they have given 5 crore each. Then Atal Innovation Mission, they came with the AIC scheme, 10 crore. They supported 100 incubators. And all these are meant to be used over a 5-year period. Some incubators got all the three, some got only one. So out of this 100 plus 85 plus 180, 365, maybe about 200, there will be 200, 225 unique incubators who got support. Some of them have got multiple support. And incubators, they need to have a revenue model. So typically they charge equity, some 3% equity, 3 to 5% equity, which they can encash only later, right? Only when later, if somebody is willing to give an exit, they can encash it. But incubators, they charge rent, the facilities they support, they charge, for use of their facility. They have boot camps, so they make some money. Sometimes they work with industry, so industry will give them CSR support. So incubators have to find their own way of making money. And some places, alumni is also supporting. For example, I know in IIT Madras incubation cell, alumni supported 100 crore. They gave 100 crore to set up the research park here, and 400 crore was borrowed. That 400 crore has been paid back now, but alumni contributed in a very big way to establish this place. And so when you co-incubate, what happens is both incubators actually take equity. So sometimes the startups may end up paying, giving equity in more than 3% by being part of more than one incubator. Okay, some success stories. These are some names I have given. I mean, some startups which we have funded. Yotu Energy, they are IT Madras incubated startup, and they have cold chain solution for last mile supplies of cold products, where they are using EV. They are using EV technology as against today IC engines. I mean, people use the cold chains which are available they are able to demonstrate about 40-50% savings. Biodimension is a company which we have supported. They are building tissues in lab. So skin, they can they can they can actually make skins. They can build large volumes. Today, animal skin testing is banned now. So human skins they get from hospitals and they culture and they grow it. They also do that for organs also. So this is a biotech health tech startup. Then there's a Trivolt, another company where they are building EV cells which can be charged within 10 minutes. And unlike many charges today, they take a lot of time, 2-3 hours, 4 hours. They can charge in 10 minutes. Many startups have cracked this now globally. At least some 7 or 8 people have cracked it, but the market is also huge. Denovo, another company where surgery when doctors carry out surgery, wound closure is a big problem. Be it laparoscopy or be it general surgery, 50% of the time goes in wound closing. Suturing is used, and normally you get needle stick injuries, and pretty painful for the doctors. So these people have developed a handheld robot, only one of its kind in India, and only 4th or 5th player in the world. They are patents. So this is one company which campus angels has funded. We look at deep tech startups. And Welkin Dream, they do drone. They do actually, it's a mistake here. They do drone propulsion systems for drones which are used for agriculture or even for defense. So they make the motors. Then another company which is making ceramic composites for aerospace application. I just gave a few samples here. All these are coming out of incubators. Government schemes I talked about. There is a Startup India Seed Fund scheme where startups are eligible to take up to 50 lakh. They can get 50 lakh loan and they can get 20 lakh of grant. Then BIRAC is from Department of Biotechnology. They support biotech startups. So up to 50 lakh they give grant. MIT, they got the MIT is the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. They got a few more from Genesis and Samrid. So like that, DSC, Department of Science and Technology, MSME, TANSEM is Tamil Nadu Startup Innovation Mission, Kerala Startup Mission. So each governments are also having schemes over and above the central schemes. Accelerator, I told you, they come in at the market validation phase, and typically it's a 3 to 6 month program. And who are startups which are got product validation, they also offer space, they also take equity, but they get experts, real experts who are from the domain, and they rapidly help you to. They get you connections, they get market access, help in product development, help in setting up the systems process. So we have this. They also have this co-working space, etc. And they tie with corporates, and they help startups to prepare pitch decks. They teach them how to go to investor to raise money. They also give some seed capital up to 1 crore. They also give. Forge, India Accelerator, Will Grow, Social Alpha, some of the accelerators which are Indian accelerators. We have global accelerators like Y Combinator, and then 500 startups, Techstars, Entrepreneur First, and so on. There are Brink. These are some of the global accelerators. I told you industry academia collaboration is improving now. Industry is looking at using academia for research, not only research, but also co-IP development. So patents are developed jointly, and also reaching out to incubators. Incubation is part of academia, so everything is all encompassing here. So they're going for research projects, patent filings, student internships, technology transfer. All these are happening. All these various models are happening today. Many industries have started embracing this. Instead of investing in house, they would rather go to incubator where all the hard work will be just incubation ecosystem. Again, this testing has started. Sorry. Okay. I'll briefly take a few minutes on angel investors. I told you in the 6 stages of the entrepreneurship, angels come typically at market validation phase, but mostly they come at an early growth phase. And why angel investors are important? They write the first check after the bootstrapping. So bootstrapping is the terminology used to say your own funding. So till product validation, either it is bootstrapping or government grants. Okay, and angels often guide on go to market, that market validation phase. Angel investors can give a lot of support because they're all experienced people, businessmen, technocrats, entrepreneurs. I've written it somewhere later. So they bring industry insights. And where I used to at Chennai Angels earlier. I mean, the who's who of Chennai are there in Chennai Angels, 150 investors. And today, campus angels, we also have similar number of angels now. And many of them are people who are very, very reputed from different verticals. So angels are a great support for early stage startups. Okay, they are high net worth individuals, typically invest 5 to 25 lakh, and we have network. So network means we have a group of agents. So we pool all that and then we give up to 2-3 crores kind of support we give to the startups. And angels are typically CXOs, ex-entrepreneurs. Okay, and they can incubate and they are willing to take risk, but they are more interested to give back. And most of the angel investors are people who love to actually support entrepreneurs because they have been there earlier and they would they know the pains, they want to support. And today, I mean, it's an interesting thing which you should know. There are 16 crore investors today who invest in mutual funds and stocks. Okay, but whereas in angel industry, there are only about 70,000 investors today. In fact, 6 years back when I came into this line, there were 7,000 people, and today we are 70,000. It's not even a fraction. I mean, I don't know what decimal you can think of. So, but this sector, this angel investing support to early stage startups, the banks don't support. Banks don't support unless you have collateral. Today, there is some respite. Government is giving some credit, guaranteed, schemes where startups can raise up to 2 crore, but even then, banks are very careful. So banking system doesn't support at all. So angels are the ones who support startups at early stage even today. So you can imagine only 70,000, so many startups coming up, so much of demand for money, whereas the angels are less, whereas the returns possible are phenomenal. There are many examples where startups are given 100x returns. The earlier you invest, the more you get returns. Typically, in the journey of a startup, at idea stage, the product, if you got an idea validation, you are worth 1 crore. If you got product validation, you are worth 10 crore. If you got market validation, your company is worth 20-25 crore. Okay, so when investors come in at market validation phase, they have invested 25-30 crore, and when you have got early growth validation, then your valuation becomes 100 crore. So when venture funds come, the valuation is really shot up to 100-200 crores and so on. So the valuation keeps going up, and so the earlier you come, the higher you make if the company succeeds. And there are examples of investors who have made even 100x returns. Even in my earlier company, Chennai Angels, I know one gentleman took 140x. Okay, so it offers high growth startup opportunities, helps diversify. It's not a traditional investment, it's a different one, it's a new class, possibly a 100x return. And there are some capital gains tax exemptions which are available. And the other thing is, it gives a strong emotional satisfaction that you have invested in a company and you have seen that company grow and become big. Okay, and the beauty of this whole angel investing is that we come across all innovations, all startups at early stage who are innovating different sectors. You get exposed to, and you know what is happening in the industry. And typically, the evaluation criteria which angels we adopt, we look at founders' background. Are they homogeneous? is the team having multi, functional capability? Are they bonded? Then we look at the size of the opportunity. It should be large. It should be a big problem they should be solving, and it should be patentable, and the business model should be thought out well. Okay, and should be superior to competition, and should be able to manage finance. The big topic can't be discussed in a forum completely in detail, but these are some of the criteria which are applied to support startups at an early stage. I told you there are 70,000 active angel investors, maybe they are a little more now, maybe 100,000. And it's growing. Even regional networks are coming up. There's a native led angels in Tamil Nadu which support startups in Coimbatore, Karur, Tirunelveli, Madurai, and so on. And there is a Kochi angels which has come. In Rajasthan, you have Rajasthan angels, you have Chandigarh angels. So different locations are also now promoting angel networks. And in angel networks, you need to know only one thing. One is named after the city, normally. Mumbai angels, India angels, Calcutta angels. And then you have networks like Venture Capitalist, Let's Venture, IP Ventures. They are electronic networks, they are pure investors. They don't mentor, they don't, but and they have large numbers. They are the people who have 7,000, 10,000, 5,000 kind of people. Whereas the other networks, angel networks, normally up to 500. India Angel is the largest angel network. They have, I think, they had 800 last, I heard, between 500 and 800. So then we have something called syndicates. Again, it's an angel network, but they call themselves syndicate. They don't run it as an organization, but they are a group. They partner with Let's Venture or Angel List, and in that platform they will do the investment. So you have different structures going on here. Okay, so move on. Okay, let's come to leather now. Okay, now, yeah, some of the opportunities you are. In my career, I have been exposed to many industries. Leather briefly, of course, for this discussion today, I did little more study. So many of them you may be familiar already. So growth of plant-based leather is a big opportunity. Digitization of supply chains and traceability of the product, because if you have to export, traceability is very important. So that is becoming important. Smart manufacturing using robotics, automation, then sustainable dyeing and tanning processes. Then B2C, eco leather brands are coming up today in a big way. And for export, tech enablement, the enabled design studios, lean production methodology, and traceability, etc., is all becoming important. These are some of the opportunities, not exhaustive, but in the subsequent slides, I think there are more I am covering. So some of the challenges which the leather industry is facing today, the environmental regulation is there now for tanning chemicals in a big way. Then there is pressure from global buyers for traceability, which and the informal sector is lacking access to tech and finance today. So more and more tech and finance access is needed. High water chemical consumption, which has to be brought down. Fragmented value chains, low automation, limited R&D adoption. So these are some of the challenges today. And what startups can do in leather industry? I mean, they can use AI to identify defects. So they can use for grading. You can have blockchain for traceability, for ethical sourcing, for supply transparency. Then robotics you can use. You can create marketplaces for for trade of products. Then waste vaporization, valorization, which is converting waste to wealth. You recover waste and then you convert it to useful product. And then clean tech innovations, making it more and more more sustainable. So there are different technologies which are there which can be used. Startups can come here and they can do these activities. Market-wise, I mean, India is of course the second largest leather producer globally. I hope the numbers are right. And government push for ILGP and then leather parks, PLI, and you have eco-certified leather, which is in great demand now in EU and US. Then in domestic also you see a lot of shift in. They want to move to eco-friendly and sustainable lifestyle brands, and a huge untapped market growth opportunity in the ASEAN and African markets. So these are some of the. I think some of them are repetitive, but I think you get the picture. And what CLRA can do, I mean, CLRA, I mean, we have done, I mean, we're doing pioneering research in leather science for decades, strong alumni base across academia, industry, and okay, and some of you may be also connected to some of the global fashion brands. Then alumni, I mean, alumni can mentor early stage founders, connect to buyers, and the CLRI labs can be leveraged for doing that early product validation, pilot testing, and as an institution, CLRI can help startups license their technologies. Okay, they can use CLRI developed technologies and they can license, and then they can build startups, build ventures. Then very clear case for alumni-led angel network growth for support for leather tech startups. I think we see a very clear opportunity for this. Academia-led innovation. So we were talking about faculty earlier. So faculty being encouraged to develop IPs. Faculty being encouraged to convert their IP into commercial venture. So academia can lead actually in innovation in a big way, and alumni-backed seed funds can support them, and academia can call for a lot of hackathons and give problem statements for students to come and come with ideas. Okay, and you can integrate multiple disciplines. You can partner with biotech and material focused institutions, design focused institutions. You can have collaboration with different institutions if required, if all the capabilities are not there within CLRI. And yeah, external researchers also can use CLRI, and I'm sure you're already doing that. And so you create an innovation funnel from classroom, students, faculty, right up to commercialization. So CLRI as an institution can do a lot of things, and interdisciplinary collaboration. I think I already spoke in the earlier slide. We can collaborate with institutes like NID and NIFT, IITs, and create cross-disciplinary R&D and productization. So a lot of opportunities for that. Corporate engagement model. I told you today, industry is very actively working with academia and incubation, where they are not only opening up their CSR funds, but they are also opening their normal innovation funds. They are also opening up their CSR funds. And as per today's law, the incubators can receive CSR funds as legitimate, CSR spend. So can any of you are working in corporates, and those corporates can partner with CLRI, and some of the CSR funds can be routed here to support startups which are getting which can be incubated. So today I know that there is no incubation in CLRI, but when I met the team last couple of weeks back, there is a very clear case to start innovation, leading to building early stage ventures as part of CLRI itself. So companies can so corporates can actually set up innovation labs. In IIT Research Park, for example, we have many corporates which have come and set up their innovation labs here. You have this Foxconn, they have put up a big thing. Tata's have put a big lab here. Then this glass company, Saint Gobain, has got a big lab here. So we can encourage corporates to come and put up innovation labs, which can help the startups build their products. So there's a whole set of things which can be done with partnership with corporates. Some examples of startups which have done well in the global leather industry. There are some good names. Bold Threads in USA. Okay, they created this Milo mushroom-based leather alternative. Then you have Deserto in Mexico. They did cactus-based regal leather they have created. And then Pinetex in the UK, Philippines, they have this pineapple leaf fiber leather. Modern Meadow, Myco, again, I will share this later, but so you have this kind of innovations which are happening globally. And if you come to Europe, there is a company called Gen Phoenix who recycle leather waste into luxury upholstery. E-leather in UK, they make engineered leather from waste. Ecopel in Germany, they give certified ecological leather and so on. So there are a lot of examples, global examples of startups which have done well in the leather sector. And how Indian startups are doing. There are a lot of Indian startups which have also come in this space. Zouk, they are doing the regal leather. Olive is plant-based leather. Fool, they are converting floral waste into alternative leather. Chakti plastics, and then I think in the Tamil Nadu area, Ranipet, etc. I think for treating effluent, I think we have got solar drain systems. Innovative systems are being tried out. Innovation all over. This I mentioned just now. So we have leather clusters here where for tannery, we are having some for effluent treatment, good things are happening. Then I think some of these are repetitive. Okay, so in continuation of some of the other things I mentioned earlier, challenge grants, where union ministry and at the government level itself, there are a lot of challenges which are coming up now because we have now to comply with global ESG initiatives. So sustainability and clean tech is now going to become a big focus. So a lot of challenges which can come here, and with grant means it can encourage students to come and take up such projects. You constantly have demo days where investors come, talk to startups, tell them how they should be doing it. Co-incubation, I already spoke about. You can have global collaborations with some of these leading global companies which are coming in this space. And CLRI can be positioned as a very leading R&D center and manufacturing hub for sustainable leather tech. I think this is something which can be an ambition for CLRI and the alumni. What the alumni can do, we can create a maybe alumni fund to back leather tech and allied startups, host alumni innovation summits. Then you partner with CLRI to license technologies which CLRI has developed. You can fund scholarships, or you can have startup fellowships, and then have mentoring programs. Okay, and identify emerging technologies and connect them with the global supply chains, and mobilize global alumni to support in terms of funding, in terms of market access, and so on. Yeah. So these again are strategies. Again, who are the people you can partner with? Co-incubation partners may be needed to understand how incubation works. Tie up with government schemes for supporting early stage startups. So some of these things are also are needed to be taken up. And tapping CSR opportunities, I think I've spoken enough of this. And we as campus angels, we support deep tech startups, and we are quite excited to be part of the journey. We are recommending for you, so we can support early stage startups. We can specifically focus on this biomaterials, clean tanning, and waste valorization. We can connect you with seasoned investors, mentors. We can have deep dive sessions for go-to-market. We can help you in building revenue, business models, and we can also become a channel for alumni investments to be invested in the CLRI-led startups. So we can be the conduit. So that is something we want to offer from our side. So takeaways, yeah. So leather industry, it's at an inflection point today. So plenty of opportunity to disrupt, and startups are the vehicles for promoting sustainability and digital adoption. And CLRI can be a hotbed for innovation and early stage industry. Somebody like us can partner with you. There are others also in the market. Then alumni can play a great role as investors and renters and evangelists for entrepreneurship. So time to act, I think, at the right time, I think we are talking. And that's it from my side. And I'm happy to take questions.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chandran, sir. That was a really impressive presentation and an impressive talk. You have covered like the entire startup ecosystem, starting from startups to the angel investors and incubations, and like you have given a comprehensive understanding about what startup ecosystem and how we can proceed with that. And you have also emphasized about leather sector, particularly like all these slides about leather sector, what we can really contribute and what an impactful thing we can make in this startup thing. It was a really insightful session, sir. I request everybody have got a good insight of what you have spoken about, and let us give a cheers or thumbs up in the chat box to give a applause kind of thing to Mr. Chandran. Can we have that in the chat box? Can we hear comments?
Thank you. I'm very apologies for the complete confusion in the beginning.
That's no, sir. That's no problem, sir. Absolutely no problem, because it usually happens because in a tech forum, like when we are working like this, it happens. But in the due course, your talk was very clear, and like we are able to connect with you, sir.
Thank you.
And yeah, that was a really good response from our team, like Bata, Kudus. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. Like we during the registration process, we posted the thing, and like we have a couple of questions from our current BTech pursuing students and members of this community. Like I'll just read you out a few of them so that you can answer them in a brief manner.
Yeah.
And
Sure.
yeah, so since most of us are from leather background, like we invite more conversations and more talks in leather. Like a few students have asked about what kind of funding or R&D support is available for budding startups, especially in the leather sector.
What kind of funding?
Uh, Funding, yeah. What kind of funding or R&D support is available for budding startups, especially in the leather sector? Like, is there any specific funding for leather sector, like where they can easily approach, rather than going into a entire funding sector? Like any specific funding agency which could fund only for leather, they can directly approach them and make the path little short.
Yeah. So one is the Startup India Seed Fund Scheme. I told you they give up to 20 lakhs for as grants and 50 lakh for 50 lakh as debt they give. So the other is BIRAC, Department of Biotechnology. Anybody working on biomaterial innovation, BIRAC can support. Okay. Then, yeah, they have these R&D grants. SIDBI supports the small industry.
SIDBI, okay. Small Industries Development Bank of India. Okay.
NSIC also supports.
NSIC, okay. SIDBI and NSIC.
Yeah.
Nice, right, sir. Okay, and we also have another question. What is your take on the future of leather tanneries in India, especially in the light of growing sustainability concerns?
Yeah, I think that is now the future lies in modernization, okay, and
Okay.
environmental compliances and digitization, okay.
Mhm.
So it will be critical to have chrome-free tanning, right? And
Exactly.
consolidation of small tanneries into common facilities, I think, may also gain traction. So
Okay.
tanning chemicals, okay, water reuse, solar drying, waste
Mhm.
valorization, I think they are some of the things, approaches which can be taken up. Okay, equal other certification. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think it's important to now modernize.
Modernize. Okay. Modernize on the stuff. Good, sir. Right. Right. And one more question was like, this is because of the recent US tariffs base. How do US tariff affect the leather supply chain, and could they present opportunities for other countries? Like,
Okay, so
yeah.
yeah, US tariffs on China, no, they open up opportunities for Indian exporters in leather goods. India can
Okay.
leverage, the strength in compliance, all compliance and sustainability
Mhm.
strength we can leverage. Of course,
Mhm.
streamline logistics, traceability, and branding to seize the opportunity. But I think there's a great opportunity for us.
Mm-hmm.
So this,
Okay.
yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Start the second question.
I didn't get you, sir. Okay.
Did you ask the second question? I heard.
Yeah. The thing is, like, they are asking about US import regulations and India's leather future. Like, what will be the impact on Indian market, especially?
Yeah, that's what I think. India has got a great opportunity. That's what I think.
Okay. India
Yeah.
has an opportunity. Nice. Like, okay. And one more question is like, how can we enhance our startup skill as students? Like during their studies itself, what do you think? Like the skills which needs to start up a business or startup company?
So now we have to start. I think we need to have these innovation challenges or pre-incubation programs
Okay.
or helping students to attend demo days. See, all these universities here in Chennai itself, Anna University or SRM or SSN or Crescent, they have these demo days where students can go and participate and see what kind of startups are coming, what kind of ideas they are trying to convert. So they should be exposed to all this. Okay. And so I only through that innovation, like if you come to IIT Madras, we have a Center for Innovation where there are about 60 or 70 projects going on at any time, and each project there are about 100, 200 some projects, even 300 people who work on it, interdisciplinary, and these are all funded by industry. Industry comes in the challenge, industry gives money. These are either competitions or it can be actually to create something. So I think you need to look out, scout for programs, funded programs, or you need to create programs where students get exposed to innovation, pre-incubation, attending demo days, taking up internship in startups. I think these are the ways students can get exposed to.
All these kinds of culture. Like, is there any possibility that can we bring students, a selected number of students, and see how
Yeah,
startups are working in IIT Madras?
yeah, sure, please. Anytime,
Okay.
anytime you do
Okay.
that, and
Okay.
a batch up to 50 should be comfortable to handle.
Oh, sure. Okay.
You
That
could,
would be much appreciated, sir. And I'll just keep the forum open so that who have not posted their questions can ask your questions, can unmute yourself and ask. We'll just have a couple of minutes for that so that we can wind it up in another 5 minutes. So the forum is open for questions. Anybody can switch on their video and unmute themselves and ask questions to.
Yeah, good evening,
Sir.
Mr. Shoaib. This is Sarana Kumar from Bomallari. I'm an alumni. I
Sure.
just want to give the information. I am working for Bomallari and Company Limited. We are also involved in promoting this startups. So we have an CSR project. We are tying up with IIM Lucknow. They are our incubators. So any project put forward can be taken to our company and support can be given to the project also. But one request is whatever I see in the startups, what Sarah has shown is all not leather related. So we'll better stick to what leather related. So whatever projects leather related is coming, we'll be highly happy to support that project through
That's really
Bomallari,
nice, sir.
the government of India company. So we can support it. So that
Sure.
anything can be supported by Bomallari. Thank you.
Incidentally, Sarana Kumar, I'm on the board of IIM Calcutta Innovation Park, and Bomallari also supports them. And there are programs happening there also.
No, they are doing every year. We are doing many projects. I'm not into that whole because I don't know what projects are being done because I only know some projects being done, but I don't get seriously into it. But we are in tie-up with IIM Lucknow. They are the incubators for us.
Very good.
Yeah. Thank you.
Right, sir. We'll make a note of that, sir, and that will be really helpful for our current pursuing students. Thank you. And Ahmad Abdul Hafiz, yeah, please, you can ask a question. You can unmute yourself and please.
Yeah, thank you. And I would like to thank you all for all this good presentation that will boost us in the future. I have a question. We are in a third-party countries. The new legislation is gonna help us at the countries. I'm from Egypt. This can be an opportunity for us here.
I didn't follow the question. Shoaib, can you?
I'll just ask him. So, Mr. Ahmed Alfiz, can you just brief your question in a very
Type it
short manner
because
so that
I'm not able to hear. Can you type your question?
you can type your question also?
Yeah, I can.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Until we get a type from the question, we can encourage one more question from any current pursuing students can ask their question. Yeah, and just to keep you informed, sir, we got a lot of comments. Thank you so much for enlightening us about the entire startup ecosystem. Good and informative lecture, useful info, inspiring session for entrepreneurship. All the credits goes to you, sir. Thank you so much for your time. Very informative.
Thank you. I hope I was able to convey. It started off badly, but I hope I was able to.
Of course, it ended up really well, sir.
You need to know only 5, 6 things. You need to know the stages of
Yeah.
entrepreneurship. You need to know
Okay.
that entrepreneurship, innovation, incubation, acceleration. So this is how the whole thing goes. Then early stage
Whole thing
funding,
goes okay.
yeah. And
Okay.
industry works with incubation, academia works with incubation, innovation is a stream into incubation. Okay, and multidisciplinary. So one incubator works with another incubator. So institutions have collaborations. So the whole thing is
Okay.
encouraging students to become entrepreneurs, faculty to become entrepreneurs, encourage outside entrepreneurs to come into this ecosystem, take the support of facility, labs, funding, grants, technical mentorship, business mentorship, and then build a sustainable model for building a venture. And it can be in any area where there is an opportunity. I mean, this broadly, this is what it is. And it took me a lot of time to understand this. Okay, when I came initially,
Okay.
yeah.
Because actually, yeah, even when there was a student approach who told that without a minimum viable product, that is an MVP, and there won't be any incubation. Like, can you just give a brief on that, sir? Because one student asked that, like, without an MVP, there won't be any incubation support from the incubators. Is it like that, or we can just get the incubation in the idea stage?
Incubation, you can start from idea.
The idea, okay.
And pre-incubation.
It's called pre-incubation, okay.
Pre-incubation.
Funding will be available only after the MVP.
After MVP.
After MVP.
No, in product validation, in incubation, MVP, you will get grants.
Grants, okay.
The Startup India Seed Fund grant, or a Kaira grant, or a Nidhi Prayas grant, or a Meiti grant. There are different grant schemes. Even corporate grants are also available.
Corporate grants are also available. Okay, that's nice. Okay. Ahmad, we didn't get your question yet.
I think you have not.
Can you unmute yourself and talk? We have not got your.
Yeah, I write it and I send it in the chat, but I think you can see it. So I will say it now. We are in a third-party country. We are in a third-party country, okay?
Okay.
If the US new tariffs can be an opportunity for us, and what the ways and what the ideas we can implement here to enter this challenge.
Okay, I think he's asking what kind of
the porters of the leather crust. So this is my question.
It is, yeah. So I think he's asking what initiatives can be taken in this country, right? To
Exactly, sir. He's asking about what the opportunities, like, because this US tariff, what are the opportunities available for his country, and what the innovative things they can do to boost their system.
I honestly don't have much idea about Egypt, so I'm not able to contribute. I'm not able to. Maybe one of your group can actually answer the question. Okay.
Anybody in this webinar?
Ahmed, Abdel, you please give your question. I'll answer you. You can send your question to Shoaib and then I'll reply to your question. Definitely, I'll give you.
Probably, sir might come to you on a very researched manner, because, like, rather than giving you a broader idea of the answer for this question, he might give you in a very appropriate manner. You can approach sir in the near future. You send us your question so that we'll forward it to him and communicate you with these answers of your question.
And any other participant want a question to be answered, please share questions with Shoaib. I'll respond.
Of course, sir. We'll have the communication ready, sir. And
Thank you.
so thank you, sir. Thank you. With this note, I would like to invite Mr. Joe Arun, the Joint Secretary of ALFA, to give the word of thanks.
Thank you, Shoaib. Good evening, everyone. It is both an honor and a privilege to deliver the vote of thanks at ALFA's inaugural webinar. At the outset, I extend our sincere gratitude to our distinguished speaker, Mr. Chandran. On behalf of the entire ALFA community, sir, your reflections on the early challenges of travel and business and how platforms like Make My Trip have efficiently addressed in those pain points offered valuable perspective. And your deep insights into the entrepreneurial journey from ideation validation to the funding and scaling have truly enriched our understanding, inspired us all. A heartfelt thanks to our executive committee for their continued guidance and an unwavering support in making this event possible. And I would also like to thank the general body and the participants and all ALFA members for their active participation and the enthusiasm. Your engagement gives life meaning and initiatives like these. And to the dedicated YOA, the youths of ALFA, your energy and the commitment and the seamless execution have set a high standard for our future events. You have truly made this evening a success. Let us build on this momentum. I encourage all of you to continue participating in our upcoming webinars as we strive to bring even more learning, value, inspiration to the vibrant ALFA community. Thank you once again, and I wish you all a pleasant evening ahead.
Thank you, Joe Arun.
Thank you.
And thank you, participants. Thank you, Mr. Chandran sir. And thank you, everyone, for joining today. I hope we will be continuing this ALFA Talks in another episode. Until then, see you all. Have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.